Okay, hello and welcome back to Songs of Conquest, where in this episode we are hopefully going to really see some good use out of our Seeds of the Mother plus Grunt strategy. And before I forget, I still don't really understand Gloves of Eternity. If there's something obvious I'm missing, do let me know. But to me this is just not worth it. For one thing, minus 50 defense when two of our units don't even attack doesn't feel like it makes much sense. But yeah, then we do 50% or 50 less melee offense, 50 less range defense. So typically you do twice as much attacks, but you are twice as vulnerable to attack and also a lot weaker. In addition, when you attack for the first time, you then have to take retaliation. So I'm not quite sure the intended use of these, but I think I just prefer not to use them. So we've got the wrapped braces we can wear instead, which is plus 2 offense and defense, and not very good, but it's at least something. And this is plus 10 offense, this is plus 15 range defense, so I think we stay as we are. So we did miss out in the previous episode when I was editing. I spotted we missed out on the Forgotten Sanctuary, which was a bit of a mistake, but there are also a couple of little things we can still pick up. So one very eagle-eyed viewer did point out that there is some Glimmerweave here that we didn't pick up. Very hard to see that. Not always the most readable game, Songs of Conquest. And then also I noticed when editing the previous episode, we did not pick up the Pouch of Gold next to the Essence Caps. So there are actually quite a few things to be picked up in this general area, and I've decided it does make sense to recruit Loth. The reason we're going for Loth is because he also comes with a few extra broken vessels, which could be really useful. Rest of these wielders don't necessarily give us too much. So yeah, we're going to pick Loth up, which does cost us 3,000, but that's fine. We'll come back for the Glimmerweave later. Main thing we want to do is we want to go west, we want to go to the Invigorating route, and we're going to go across to Prowl. We're going to pass these 7 units across. Then we're going to go to the west, and we're going to try to grab the Ancient Amber Excavation, because yeah, we really don't want to delay picking that up for too long. Then Prowl is going to go back towards the town to try to head off Ambertina, who is the big threat to us right now. So she's pretty good. She's got a big stack of Plague Rats, quite a few Oathbound, also some Toxicologists, so quite a few units. We're also going to go into the town. So in this town we do have, it's probably worth noting, we have 18 lobbers from our towers. If we also look at Prowl, she has 19 chuckers. Is it a woman? I'm not going to remember either way. And then if we look across at Grunt, Grunt also has a big stack of chuckers. So I think one thing that does make sense is we need to get ourselves a little bit more Ancient Amber. And we're going to go into the Briar. And this is an opportunity to go for the next stage of Embrace and Crush, but I think Sap and Blister instead for the additional range and deadly range for lobbers and chuckers. That is an immediate boost to all of our wielders, all of our armies. So I think it does make sense to do that, and we've got 5,000 left to spend on just enhancing this as much as possible. So we're going to upgrade all of these, because by upgrading them we get Order and Creation Essence. We can just spread these out. So we're going to try and have as many stacks as possible going into the fight if they do come to attack our town. And then in the town itself, we're going to let our wielder out. And we're going to go back into the town. We're going to upgrade the spawn for the additional essence. Then we're going to pick up all of the newly upgraded chuckers. And we have a small amount left, which we'll also spend, I guess, on some more of these. So that's a lot of stacks, that's a lot of essence generation. I'm hoping it will be enough. We go back in to defend with the wielder. And yeah, even if they can take our town, we should be able to weaken them enough that Prowl can just sweep in and take it back. So that's all of our wielders moved, that's all of our gold spent. We could sell some wood and some stone. I think I'm willing to chance that we don't need to. I'm going to end the turn there. See what Ambertina does. So we also have red over here causing us problems. We have blue to the north also coming towards us, and we also have purple pretty close to us too. So there's a lot going on, a lot we need to respond to. Okay, so big stack of 56 Plague Rats, that's a massive threat. 20 Toxicologists, also pretty rough. I think these are the two stacks I fear the most, so I think we want most of our units towards the bottom. We'll try this, that gets us max symbiosis too. So she's also level 11. We're not expected to get too many kills, so that's not looking too great. So she has got Essence Leech, Destruction Magic, Channeling, plus 80% spell damage power. So this is going to be pretty rough. I'm not sure we're going to have enough here. Prowl only really has Scouting and Command. So Plague Rats rush forwards. Oathbound also. Okay, they take the essence off those. That's probably okay. Goes for aggression, that's fine. They have extra spell damage power, so I don't mind that so much. We do take some damage. Okay, this is looking pretty good for the Mucus Blast. We can get 4 stacks at once, so let's do that. We have Berserk the Rats now, but that's okay. I think we just want to damage them as much as possible, drop their movement. And I think we can potentially move away from these. Okay, so hearts are going to go all the way back, and we're going to stay a little bit closer for the extra symbiosis. We're going to go for the attack on these, which does berserk them, but there's nothing really left. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we can just move out of the way of these rats. Yeah, so nothing can really reach us. In addition, these would have to move in order to shoot again, so that all works out. We, I think, are slightly stronger from range. As they do start to pull back, that's probably quite concerning, actually. Oathbound stay in place. They go for the Psychic Spear, but we actually survive it. But they do kill us off with that stack, okay. So they are in range. Hopefully the additional range is kicking in there. So other choices, Ethereal Scales could do something. These are not in deadly range, so no great targets for the Mucus Blast. I think we do need to try and weaken these. These cannot really do too much. I think we go slightly forward so that we can move around. And then we just go for Verdant Pulse. So this stack takes a couple of losses from the poison. We do not have quite enough movement to reach the Oathbound. I think what I'd really like to do is get into the Toxicologist, but Dimension Door gives us 2 extra hexes of movement, which is still not enough. Okay, I think we keep these defensive. And yeah, those 2 hexes won't give us enough movement, and even if we go up against these, 1 to 3 kills, so we're not going to be able to achieve too much. I think we have to stay fairly defensive for now. So next round begins, these stacks can't really reach us. Stack of 31 can. So we could move to the high ground. If we move to the high ground and they do damage to our pulses, the pulses will attack into the broken vessels. So that doesn't really make sense. Repel doesn't really help us too much. Yeah, I think spell options don't really help us too much, so they're going to have a lot of moves in a row. But only the Oathbound, the Toxicologists, and the spells can do damage to us. So I'm going to see how this plays out as, okay, I guess I should have seen that coming. The Fireball with the Destruction Magic, and weakening us with the Psychic Spear. Toxicologists do move in and weaken us some more. Now we have 2 of their stacks in deadly range, but possibly a little bit too damaged to really take advantage. I guess these are the bigger threat. But yeah, there's not really much we can do about this, as these are currently stuck in place. Why is that? So they're poisoned. Of course. So when they get forced to attack, they do use up their movement. So we could try going for Dimension Door to put them in range, but it doesn't really help us that much. So we can Psychic Spear twice, which will kill off a couple of Toxicologists. I think we just have to do as much damage as possible. Oh, they must resist. They resist magic damage too. So that'll be one of those artifacts. Yeah, she has quite a few. If we slow these down, that might give us something to work with. Yeah, so that just about works out, but yeah, this unit can't really do anything. Okay, so they go for Justice, that uses up some more movement, and they continue to focus down that stack for some reason. I'm going to actually Dimension Door. And these are still in deadly range. And they're next to move, so let's go for those. As we do get finished off by the poison, we have done a lot of damage to that stack at least. Okay, so they take the retail, we take a lot of damage from Ice Bolt. Plague Rat's still very healthy. A little bit concerned about what they can do in our town. We have weakened them quite a bit. Try and kill off this stack, which doesn't quite work out. And he goes for the Rupture and we're wiped out. Okay. So the question is, with the loads and loads of Creation Essence, which is what we have in our town, is that enough to hold off some Plague Rats? Because that's their power stack. Okay, so they level up and they actually choose to go south, and this is also a big problem. I was hoping they would actually potentially go for our town. So some good news is that blue doesn't break through. I was hoping to recruit Honey back in the east. We probably have to actually attack Ambertina. So, Wilder options. Prowl is not yet able to be re-recruited. We can re-recruit Honey, but it comes at the cost of many useful resources. And they're not really great in terms of skills. So we've got Arcana Magic, we've got Creation Magic, but neither are really leveled up. Still, it is something we could afford. We don't even need to trade. Okay, so let's still grab what we can. So the Heater Shield, that gives us plus 12 defense. Okay, fine. So we'll still grab what we can, and if they do come to attack us, they'd have to waste quite a few movement points. We also get the Greatsword, so the Greatsword is plus 10 offense. It requires us to unequip what we already have. We also have Red to worry about, who is somewhere around here. Potentially going to try and grab this town off us. But this has at least finished converting, so I think we should get some defenders in. Which means we'll have to actually build. I did want to use this town purely for research. So we should get this pretty soon with Grow, and hopefully Grow can just intervene. Yeah, perhaps we avoid investing in that for now. Okay, let's go back to Grunt, because I think we need a little bit more positivity after what just happened. I think we go towards Crumbling Monument, because that will reveal what this pack of Loth troops is guarding. Doesn't get us a level up. Okay, so they're guarding the Gallows, Summoning Circle, and Warhammer. I don't think we need that stuff. Just going to go west. We're going to take on False Cliff, which will actually also give us the option of picking up one further Wilder. So this is guarded by Toxicologists, Cultists, and Poachers. Okay, so we're going to actually disband this one stack, just so we can split the Seeds of the Mother into two stacks. I think this is fine. Let's see what happens. So 2 losses expected to the Terrors, that's not okay. So only really the range units can cause us problems. These 3 stacks we can just bind. Could just rush straight forwards if we want to, it doesn't really make sense to do so, I think we wait. As they do get to move pretty soon, so we actually do take a loss to the Broken Vessels there. Wow, I didn't really look at that, but I assumed we had more initiative than we did. Okay. So we can still move these forward. That scorns pretty much everything with our 3 hex range. We're going to lock these in. We're going to do the same with this stack. And we're going to send these forward as well for the extra scorning. Lock these in too. So 1 to 2 kills if we go for this. I think we go for Mucus Blast and drop the initiative of all 3 of these stacks going into the next round, as that stack does then get to move. I should have cast a spell. Okay. The good news is we can now go for Dimension Door. So we move down to here, we go for Dimension Door. Does that get us close enough? Not quite. So I don't mind moving through zone of control of these 2 because it's quite important. Start wiping out these 2 stacks. Okay, next stack of 24, let's just finish this stack off. Then these do get to move in. I don't think we have the right spells to really get stuck in. We can go for Clouded Vision, but next few moves are all ours. So I think we start by going for this. Then next round begins, we can kill these off by going forwards. Let's just do it. Then we've got these 3 all moving in a row. So not really much we can do, but we're just going to bind these. These move forwards, and we can't quite finish these off with Scorn. So stack of 13 does move next. Rapid Fire could be interesting. Blind Hatred also. I like that because we get to waste 2 stacks at once. So this stack moves up. Scorns both stacks at once. Then we go for this. We take 1 further loss to the Chucks. Okay, so they're doing a lot more damage to those than I expected. If we go for Ice Bolt, it's going to do a pretty nice amount, kill off 3 of them, but probably Rapid Fire makes a bigger difference. What else could we do? It's actually the stack of 7 we want to wipe out next. So I think we want to start slowing these down. Okay, that has very little effect. I'm going to try that one more time. Okay, so stack of 12 is now slowed down, which means stack of 7 is the next big threat. Can't quite reach those unless we move. Alternative is we go for Mucus Blast. That drops their initiative by 5, but that won't be enough. So they have 21 initiative, we need to get them down to 8. Perhaps we could do it with Ice Bolt. Let's see. Yeah, it does actually work out perfect. So we move these up. Does it make sense to pacify? We should get most of these units back, so I'm just going to attack. So if we were to go for Quicken 3 times, it gets us 3 extra moves, which isn't enough. Best option, I think, is just pacify these, make sure they can't really do any damage to us. And yeah, they shouldn't be able to get a kill after that. Yep, so losses to Broken Vessels are fine. Kill these off next, and we've got 3 turns of Scorn to cycle through, though actually these aren't quite in range. Then we go for Rupture. A little bit of sloppiness there costs us a couple of chuckers, but range units are always going to be the thing we struggle with this lineup. Yeah, just those 3 losses I'm worried about. Losses to Broken Vessels don't really matter. We're going to go for Raise. And yeah, we get 11 of these back, so we fill out all those slots. I'm still going to stick, I think, with additional stacks of Roots of the Mother. I'm willing to let 6 Broken Vessels go. Okay, so we do need to raise this first, so it doesn't immediately get us access to another wielder, but we can still re-recruit Honey if we want to. So let's grab some gold. And that's about as far as we can go. Okay, so if we were to re-recruit Honey, the other thing we could do is we could send Vigil back out. So if we have a look at this, Honey has 4 commands, so not actually that much better. We could go to Essence Tree of Chaos as we pass through. I think we actually can't reach from here. Oh, we can. Okay. Yeah, we don't want them wreaking havoc over this. I'm not sure we have enough though. Over 4 stacks, do we really have enough to wipe that guy out? So the other thing we have is Rigor. That's also going to help us. But yeah, I think we're going to have to pick Honey up. It's really expensive, but let's just do it. Bear in mind, the sooner we pick Honey back up, the sooner we get access to the additional taxes, Ancient Amber, the additional Stonemason, all that good stuff. So what units should we take? So we want 3 really good stacks, I think. Maybe Roots of the Mother, although I don't necessarily want to risk wasting those. Spellcasting's not actually that good, although they are immune to magic, which is quite important. I think I do want to go aggressive. So, best stacks we can field. I think first thing we have to do is we have to accept that we need to sell all of this stuff. I don't mind doing that. Okay, so 20,000 we can spend. We're probably not going to go for research. I think we go Roots of the Mother. They still benefit from 2 hex spread, so that's pretty good. Then after that we can go for up to 3 chuckers, which obviously isn't really enough. We can go for 9 pulses, bearing in mind those will be focused on. We could go for 9 flayers perhaps. I wonder if it's worth just going for something like... So we need the Glade to upgrade our number of broken vessels. If we go for this upgrade, plus 2 hit points for broken vessels, requires us to buy 8 celestial ore. That's probably too expensive. So I think we just need to go for blighted vessels perhaps, although they didn't perform great in the last battle. Not sure we necessarily have enough to make this work. We can go for 2 full stacks of those. Would Pierces work better? Wasn't really planning to recruit these. So it is the walker units we're most worried about. It's the rats and the Oathbound. So I do actually think we've got to go for the full supply of Seeds of the Mother. So full stack of 5 of those. So other options, most expensive stack we can go for is actually the pulses. 9 of those cost us 10,800. Does that mean they're actually the best option? If we go for 50 spawns instead of 25 blighted vessels. They do have the Spore Cloud ability, which is not necessarily going to synergize that well with Seeds of the Mother. But they get the plus 3 hit points each. That's 10 hit points each versus 17 for these. You get twice as many per stack. Same price, 1 to 3 damage versus 1 to 4 damage. So these things have the lunge ability, which is pretty useful. Spawns are better for spellcasting. So we could still go for a 1 stack of chuckers, just for the Mucus Blast, reduce initiative. Because yeah, I think we do need to intervene this turn. So the spin attacks from these don't help us too much. This might be the strongest in terms of individual stacks. Is there anything else we can do to grab a little bit of income before we go for this? So yeah, this wielder can't go far enough. This wielder could do something. We do already have the stack of 9 chuckers. So yeah, I think we actually do take chuckers. Pass those across, we already have the mace. We'll take the spawns, I think. Okay, so we do that. Immediate sources of income. We can actually reach the Fruits of the Wildwoods. Plus, this does give us, not a great option, but a kind of an option to defend against Xavier Silkspool. We don't know what he has. There's a different wielder who came through before. But yeah, there's something up in that direction. If we go in this direction, the Termite Nest is already spent. The Pouch of Gold is out of reach. Yeah, we'll just go up this way. So that's an extra 500 gold. That is better than nothing. Okay, let's upgrade this into another chucker. So 10 of those is okay. Then we can go for 2 big stacks of spawns. That doesn't actually spend all of our gold. So maybe 1 big stack of spawns plus 1 stack of pierces. Because that would spend all our gold. Doesn't necessarily make it the right choice, but yeah, we're covered for range defense with chuckers. We know we're better from range if we do that. I think we go for the spawns because it synergizes well with our power. Goes well with bigger. Then we have a choice. We either go for more spawns but we don't spend all our gold. We could actually go for more spawns plus 2 more chuckers though. So yeah, I'm going to go for more of these. I'm going to go for another 1,000 of these, and that is everything spent. So yeah, I'm not sure if the spawns are the right choice, but we're just going to have to go with it. And why, for some reason, honey cannot actually reach. I should have checked that first, but that's so annoying. I didn't realize she had fewer movement points. Yeah, we're 1 step short. Okay, so Spring Fern is in big trouble, but we do at least get 1 turn to maybe go for like a Wilder Chain or something, but problem is we've already moved away. We can sort of come back. Don't think we can quite go far enough. I think we have to at least close off the escape. So yeah, that's really annoying because that one loss of movement I think probably costs us our town, but we should be able to break it back before they can convert it. So we do have a little bit of resource we can spend. So it probably makes sense to do that here. I think we go for the upgrade, and this town is intended to be used mainly for economy. So if we go for 1 wood, costs us too much. Okay, I'm just gonna probably end the turn there, I think. I'll use this guy to try to bait Ambertina in. Okay, other useful things you can do, probably not too much. I'm actually tempted to go towards the termite nest because there's no way we can pass units across next turn. So yeah, let's just go towards this. This finishes converting next turn. Okay, we're going to end the turn there as purple is indeed coming towards our other town over there. That's a different Wilder. Ambertina does come to chase this Wilder down, okay. I don't mind that so much, this guy's not that important. So they do take our shield, but we actually do get a couple of kills, so that's not bad. And they go back in that direction. Okay, so they should be cornered. Didn't even see blue break through there. Don't know where red is either. Okay, we're going to go to honey first. Hopefully we can reach. I do want to go to this first. Then we go down to this, and this time we can reach. Okay, but do we take more units first, if we can? So we can pick up an extra Wilder, we can pick up some extra units, but we're not going to be able to reach, so I don't think that makes sense. I think we are stronger. I'm just going to take that chance. Yeah, so fair challenge. Let's go for it. She actually did take the fight, so she's opened this up, so we can claim some of that stuff afterwards. I'm going to go for this. Okay, so layout is fine, I think. I think we do want to attack from range, so I think we probably do leave the chuckers there, although... No, I think this makes more sense. So this gets us a lot of extra order through symbiosis, which isn't that useful. It's probably more useful to do this. See what the game does. Okay, victory is expected, that's great. So we steal the 3 most valuable artifacts, which are plus 14 defense, movement and initiative, and spell damage, power, and additional broken vessels. That's nice. Okay, still gonna see if we can do better. Guess one useful thing is the diversion did work, so we do keep our town. Plague rats go up there. So yeah, they're not great from range, that's one thing we do have. Does it make sense to go forwards? I think we probably still stay back. It's difficult to say if we're the better spellcaster at this point. How did they get broken vessels? I guess they're artifact, but that still feels weird, not on mixed faction mode. Anyway, we could keep these two stacks together, that might kind of make sense. I guess if we do go towards these to attack, it kind of depends what we're going to do with our spells. So Mist isn't really going to help us too much. Acid Cloud does 22 points of damage, she will resist some of that, so that's really not that much damage. I think we do actually want to get involved. Do actually want to brawl, so I'm going to send these two up. So one of them is immediately embraced, we're going to move these forwards as well. Then we have the option of going for this, which isn't going to do much damage at all, but I'm tempted to kill these off just for denying some of that essence. So this stack is in range, we can berserk them if we want to. I don't think that makes too much sense. Still, it is all three of those stacks that move next, so I am going to go for this. Okay, so they go for Rupture, and we take some of that through Embracing. They do come to attack this stack, but that's okay. Can't really go for Spore Cloud. Could go for Acid Cloud. The Oathbound can't reach us. This stack also can't reach us if we stay where we are. So useful things we could go for, so Aegis for 50% range resistance, that's not the one to go for. I think Ethereal Scales. That's a start. Rest of this stuff maybe doesn't make too much sense. I think Protection would be good. Make sure we take this hit as best we can. These move in. So I don't think it's worth moving through Zone of Control just to do a bit more damage. I think we just go for the attack. This stack can't reach us. This stack's not going to do too much damage. Okay. So one thing we could do, of course, is we could try going for the Grasping Roots. We do need to move a little bit closer. We can then grasp those. But it's unlikely we actually move away. I still think we go for it. These are in deadly range. Stack of 1 moves next and they get several turns in a row. So we can go for 1 Acid Cloud if we want to. We could also go for reducing their initiative. So we could go for -10 initiative on this stack. So they have 39 initiative, we want to slow them down to 32. That's not difficult. We can do that. We just go for this twice. Actually, once does work. So yeah, we go for this attack, those move forwards. That's a bit of extra Arcana Essence for them, so that's pretty annoying. We have lost a couple of Seeds of the Mother already. Okay, this stack can reach us pretty soon. I think we try to finish these off. We could finish them off with Acid Cloud. No, we can't. So they really do resist quite a lot of damage. We can Chaos Step away. Yeah, because I'm pretty tempted to find these. Because that's the closest thing they have to a power stack. So I think I actually move these away. So these things have got 3 movement. This position is probably fine. Now let's go slightly closer. So they then get several turns in a row, so these move next. They can't reach us. Stack of 3 can't do much to us. Toxicologists, we could try and kill those off. So Insect Swarm would have to do it quite a few times. Other things we can go for, nothing really helps us too much. Swap could be kind of interesting, but I don't think there's a great use for it. Boiling Blood. So we could also Chaos Step these away, just to avoid the rats. That doesn't necessarily help us that much. I think we keep our powder dry. So yeah, they start going defensive, that's fine. These now move up. We grasp these. Can't do much damage to these 2 stacks. I think we still move forwards. And we'll weaken these. So they Psychic Spear those. So yeah, the spell casting is causing us some problems as expected. I think Blind Hatred on these. Force those 2 to brawl. We don't want these to get involved. So we move these down. This stack then gets to move. If we go for a couple of quickens, doesn't work on its own, we could try going for... So we can go for quicken, we can go for invigorate if we want to. Last till the end of the round, so it would have been good to do it sooner, but that does, I think, allow us to reach. No. No, it doesn't. It uses up too much order. So what can we do with that instead? We can move up in this direction, we could engage these. Nah, that didn't make sense. Wasn't the right play. Explosive Fungi doesn't help us too much. We could try going for it against these. I do want this stack wiped out, but they just resist too much damage. I'm going to go for Acid Cloud on these 2. I just want to weaken that stack. Then we can go for this again, but it's not going to kill them off. So I think we just move down to here. So they have the higher ground. There aren't too many of them. 2 to 7 kills is not bad. I'm still going to go for this. Just going to try and kill them off as quick as we can. They choose not to go for an attack. We can weaken them some more. This gets the kill. Okay, these bind once again. Before we do that, do we want to try to kill off this stack if we can? I do think we can. I don't think there's anything we can do. We definitely want to keep binding these as... Okay, they go for Fireball. There's so much damage to our other 2 stacks that the Seeds of the Mother do take massive losses. Okay, pretty clear we do need to go more aggressive. Can't just hang back. So Seeds of the Mother actually I think don't want to be embracing anyone anymore. Would have been better off taking the results we got in quick battle, but never mind. Yeah, I am thinking in hindsight, would have been better to maybe even not stay close to the Seed of the Mother at all, to deliberately avoid the Seed of the Mother, because although it is immune to magic damage, it's indirectly taking magic damage by absorbing it from the other units, which is something I hadn't really considered before the battle, but it's made a massive difference in a bad way. Destroy Essence is something I should have also done a bit more of, because stopping them getting destruction is quite important. So I'm going to cast that on the Oathbound. Other things we can do, so Fury doesn't help us too much, Invigorate doesn't help us too much. I think we, start moving our units out of being embraced. These should probably go for an attack. Acid Cloud, it just does so little damage, that's the problem. So if we were to go for Invigorate, that's not going to get us close enough, because we need Quicken plus Invigorate to reach these. So yeah, I think we continue to brawl these for now. Stack of 5 does get to move next. I can slow those down. So she probably doesn't have enough essence to do anything to us yet. I think we keep hitting these, as they are now starting to go aggressive. Okay. So these 2 stacks are still scorned. We're going to grasp these. Then we actually want to get out of Seeds of the Mother's range. We'll go for Acid Cloud, and we'll try to weaken these as much as we can. So they go for Destroy Essence on those. Dimensional door them in. Okay, interesting. So this is now looking pretty bad for that stack. I think we move in. Swap these two around. No, that doesn't help us because we're now embraced. Yeah, so the seed has to move away. But not in a way that works. So yeah, we have to actually brawl the stack of 16, but not with this stack because the seed will absorb too much damage. So yeah, annoyingly we can't reach the cultists because they're too high up. Just gonna skip the turn. Then these go back. So 2 to 7 kills from these. We're gonna go for Pacify. Okay, so the key thing is we don't want these to be able to absorb damage. So we pull away. Before we decide on what to do next, let's destroy the essence of them. Let's slow them down. We'll go for this attack. Okay, this time we are no longer embraced, so it is safe to go for an attack if we want to. I think we do just go straight for an attack. Then we can potentially kill these off. Looks like we can't quite pull it off. But we'll try. So they still get to move, they go for justice on those, that's okay. Then this stack's not really doing too much. I think key thing is we do just want to preserve it. Okay, so 9 damage on these if we want to. No, I think we kill these off with this. These go for this. Ah, they do get to move still, so they get an extra kill. Then we finish them off. Okay, that might have been my least favourite battle of the entire playthrough so far, but we are still learning pros and cons of Seeds of the Mother. So the big mistake there was not taking into account the amount of damage Seeds of the Mother absorb from spells like Fireball when they're surrounded. That cost us a couple of those at least. Okay, so very expensive lesson learned, but we do at least keep one of them. So we've still got enough to pass that across. We're still generating 1 per round, so it's not a disaster. We bring these 2 stacks together. Raises the question of, do we take broken vessels over 3 fungi or spawns? I think we do. Because we can get more of those. Okay, so we get some extra stuff too, so +3 offense. We'll grab the bone crown, and we're going to try to forget about that. I did want to go to some of this stuff. I wanted to go to the reflecting pools. This is now upgraded. We could pick up someone else. So none of these really provide units that help grunt. Perhaps we take someone like Brood, just because Brood has learning, which is going to build some more momentum. So yeah, let's pick some things up. So we go over to this, we reach level 2, let's go for command. 300 gold from that. And we're going to go south, we're going to grab the Celestial Ore Mine. So if we go north, we don't really gain too much. I think we want to go for Destruction Spire. Should have actually done that sooner, before the previous battle. Would have benefited us. But yeah, this is considered a simple fight. Hopefully that means no losses. Let's have a look. That's fine, we get those back. So, no level up, but let's go to this next. Let's go for... I think we go Glimmerweave. So, spike boots, we do already have some boots, but let's compare. So this is +1 movement, we've already got +3 movement. Don't think that changes anything. Go to the Destruction Spire. Many hostile creatures had been encountered, but as they were eliminated, the roots continued to spread. The woods grew, this was good. bit more gold to the south. Let's pick that up. So Banes could be a problem for us, but Oathsingers and Oathbound should both be fine. No, we're not going to accept those losses. So as long as we focus down these range units, there's not really much they can do to us. Okay, so these will wait. Those go forwards. Stack of 15 does not attack. Okay, so both of these stacks are now scorned. I think we hold these in place because we know we want to do that. These move up this way. So if we go across to here, we do not have enough movement points left to scorn these. So I think we actually go here instead. Let them come closer next round if they want to. They can't reach either of these two stacks either, so that's great. Just going to slow both of these down. Now these rush forwards. If we wanted to, we could go for Quicken. This immediately feels so much better than the previous fight. Having an actual combat dedicated wielder. So we rush forward 1 to 4 kills. It's not great. We can go for ethereal scales if we want to. Let's do that. Then we can go for aggression for plus 10 offense. I think we do it. We should get most of these losses back. These come up this way too. These will go here for the symbiosis. Then yeah, that stack can't reach and they're scorned, so we wait with this stack. These get to move next, we once again embrace these. This doesn't help us too much because these are currently not scorned, but I don't think that changes much. Then we grab these. This stack can't move because they're scorned. Do we go forwards and go for a straight attack? I think we do. So 2 extra kills on these, that is potentially not quite enough. If we go for... we can go for more ethereal scales, but we're still benefiting from that. Best thing I think is just to slow these down. So I think probably also makes sense to Insect Swarm. And yeah, that pushes them right to the back, so that's perfect. Then we weaken them. We go for the attack, 1 to 3 kills. We can go for something like Blind Hatred won't help us. Although actually, it does allow us to get an extra kill through that. Then it's 1 to 3 kills from this. So we can go for Psychic Spear for 1 extra kill. This should now finish them off. Not quite. Okay. These come forwards. Bit of extra symbiosis. Okay, so stack of 13 is actually not bound. I must have forgotten to do that. Oh, that's kind of annoying, but they can't really attack anything except the vessels. So they can't do too much to us. I'm just going to pacify. I guess I could try quickening, but I'm not sure we can really go fast enough. So 21 initiative going up against 27. Yeah, it doesn't work. Let's just wait. So yeah, a couple of losses there, but it's nothing too bad. We bind these. Bind these two. Okay, we just want to scorn them as much as possible. And yeah, as before, battle is over. So yeah, triple attack through our insane magic generation. We take a few losses to the broken vessels, but we'll of course get all of those back. Now this time round, I would really like tier 2 of order magic, but I want some space for the broken vessels, and I don't get as many as I thought I would. So actually, I think I let those go. We now have 4 stacks of those instead. Okay, even more shoes. And these aren't that good. But I'm not really going to be able to pass them to someone else. Okay, so let's just start moving up, because I think we will have to defend up there pretty soon. And now we do have grow free once again. So we've got a lean-to down here. Let's pillage that. Let's claim the Glimmerweave Grove. And let's start moving to defend our town just in case. So I do want to upgrade this. That is a priority. If we have a look over at what's going on over here. So Mary Wondercraft with Steam Pipers and Musketeers. Yeah, they have access to us, that's the problem. So we've got 9 Terrors available to us. Unfortunately, they do cost Celestial Ore. So we can start moving towards the source we do have. Perhaps we could take the boots, but it's going to be too much of a detour, I think. I think we just go east. Then this town, we're going to go for the stump. Could also upgrade the town itself. I think we need the Terrors. So yeah, I'm going to go for 6 of those. That is everything spent. That should make this fight... It should make it a lot easier. I think we should be able to handle it. I'm going to spread these out. Okay, so that's most of our gold gone. We can sell a little bit of stone if we want to. I think we could probably justify upgrading one of these towns. So this one just needs more gold. This one's already fully upgraded. It's just a basic drudger, basic mulcher. Not as good as I thought. Okay, I think we probably roll with that for now, but I will go back across to this town just to see how much this one costs. So 1,000 gold, that's a lot more doable. Let's make sure we do that. So we're going to sell all of this. Upgrade the town for additional income, so 10,000 income per turn. Then I think we do just end the turn there. So if blue wants to come and attack us, that's fine. Dr. Marjatta is not too far from us. We can go aggressive against purple. Okay, so we do see red, and they actually want to take us on. I'm kind of surprised. Do we only have 3 command? They should have split these more. We should be able to win this. Yeah, so victory is expected. I'm going to play this manually because I want to try and hang on to some more units. So yeah, that stack of 41 is a problem. So these things only have the 2 movement, I believe, so pretty difficult to avoid. Possibly even impossible. We can go back to here. But the stack of 18 can't really be protected. And now we do almost no damage. So we can slow them down going into the next round. So they've got 34 initiative, we need to get them down to 25. Can't see that really happening. I guess what we'll do is we'll go for this. We're going to ignore this stack for now, not too worried about those. We want to go for Earth Block here, and we just sacrifice this stack as defense. So we do take the 4 losses there, that's to be expected. Now we can go for this. then we can do a lot of damage to them with that move. Let's go for Psychic Spear on these. We go for Insect Swarm. It might get us an extra kill, so I will go for it, and that actually does move our initiative up enough to be able to use the chuckers. And he goes for Sabotage, moves in, goes for the attack. We take a loss there, okay. So yeah, he did drop our initiative a bit, but we're now able to go for a full powered attack on this stack. We can't really stop them getting their next move. Don't think, yeah, Fungus wouldn't really achieve too much, Earth Block also, so yeah, let's just go for the attack. And we finish them off. I think that one at least was better than Quick Battle. Yeah, so far fewer losses taken. And that's one threat dealt with, and blue goes back. That obviously isn't their main, so they're going to come through with something else for sure. Okay, we're going to go Stone Circle. We're going to go up to this. Scholar's Lectern. Back across to this, and they have opened this up, so that is confirmed. So this guy doesn't necessarily have a really strong force, but I'm going to stay aggressive. We're going to go towards Marjatta, considered risky. This is probably their best, and I think Grunt is a little bit better than the game thinks he is. Okay, so I think Red must have at least one more wielder. I'm not sure exactly where. But we're going to go and take the farm back. So this is Brood, so we go back to Brood. We're going to pick some things up, but I think we beeline towards this. Where did you go? Which way did they just go? Oh, that's so annoying. Why did the game do that? What happens between here and here that causes it to reroute? Does the game know there's someone there? Okay, well that was a waste. I guess now we really do pick up the artifacts? I'm not sure. There's a bit of stuff we can claim around here, but that was annoying. Okay, so you're going to come back. You do have some units to take fights if you want to. This is potentially the right kind of fight we could take against range units. Oh, let's not miss out on the Celestial Ore. Start moving back. Prepare to go defensive. Honey is going to pick up everything he can. So we pillage this for 500 gold. A bit of Celestial Ore there is good. We go across to this, 1,900 gold. We start coming back. And we could actually go offensive against green. But I think, of course, Grunt is main wielder we want to do that with. Okay, so we have enough to go for some research. What I do want to do is I want to go in this town. This should be our safest town. So we upgrade this again. And we're going to go for the Glade this time. We've not done that before. So that does stop us from affording research this turn, which I think is fine. Something else we want to do is we do want to upgrade the Womb at some point, which is a lot of extra Ancient Amber required. But we're going to make a push for that. A couple of wielders still recovering. This guy is able to level up. Let's go for taxes. So a bit more we can spend. We need more stone and wood to upgrade this. Stump costs Ancient Amber to upgrade. I think we start avoiding doing things like that. We will go for the... Oh, we could go for a rally point. And then we can bring this guy back. Pick up some extra units. But I think that does take too long. So yeah, I'm going to stay focused on economy. Then we got this town. If we want to, we can upgrade the Drudges and the Mulchers. I think actually I'll just get rid of this. Far more useful if we just get as much gold as we can. So other places we can use, this is fully upgraded. This is still safe for now, still upgraded. This can also be upgraded, but only in the form of the Drudger, which does cost Ancient Amber. Okay, so last thing we could do is we could pick up a couple more wielders. And in fact, if we do that, that really does allow us to upgrade Grunt, because we could pick up Flora here, we could go for a full wielder chain, and we could use the misclick to our advantage. If it even was a misclick, I'm not entirely sure about that. So yeah, I'm going to cancel this. I will actually go for the rally point. It does slow down the upgrade to the womb, but it also allows us to upgrade grunt. Then we're going to pick up, I guess we'll go for reap. Reap will grab some experience, we'll take command, and we'll move up to here for now. So a bit of extra gold. I guess we could go for this too, but it's not too important. I think the most important thing is to be as close to the rally point as possible. End the turn there. As Marjatta does actually proactively come to attack us. So it's time to see if we're as good as I think we are. So she's only level 8. She's got Arcana Magic, she has plus 100% spell damage power. So let's learn from the previous battle, let's not have too much damage being absorbed by any of these stacks. Which I think means spreading them out 1-to-1. Let's try this. So victory is expected, actually very few losses, a couple of losses to the Terrors. Don't know how they got the cutthroats. So, Spoils of War, so Helmet of the Arena's not very good. Massively crafted boots, even more boots, and then, yeah, nothing else really good. I'm going to try to hang on to the Terrors. Okay, destroy essence on those, that's fine. So 2 range stacks, something to look out for. I think we wait with these. So next to move the Seeds of the Mother at the top here, they can't really go too far. I guess we just skip the turn. And these can go forwards, so we go forwards to here. We grasp these. Next to move is these. These actually cannot get close enough to scorn the cutthroats. Okay, we still have a few moves in a row. Necromancers do get to move pretty soon. Aurelian Scholars even. So I think we go for... We're going to destroy their essence. Then we're going to weaken them. These go forwards. We'll at least scorn these two. Then this stack goes forwards. They do have enough movement points to grasp these. Do we just Mucus Blast all 3 of these stacks? Do we actually try to do some damage? I will Mucus Blast because I want to reduce the movement points of the stack of 17. And yeah, we can see we take very little damage there. Okay, so next to move is the stack of 25 of these. We don't want to block our Terrors. Okay, does this really make sense? So what we can do is we can move in, we can actually directly brawl the Toxicologists. In order to really do so, we'd have to... Well, these are already bound, so we're at least safe from the cutthroats. These can't get around to attack us. So in theory, it's safe to do so. We could also repel them. Problem is that does allow the cultists through to attack us. But yeah, I think we do move in. I don't think we repel. Ethereal Scales perhaps, Burst of Strength would help us. But yeah, Ethereal Scales I think is a good one. So we go for that. We go for the attack. Take almost no damage in response. But he goes for Justice, so perhaps that does explain some losses. Now only expected 4 to 5 kills. Stack of 17 is next to move, so we actually don't want to kill them off. I'm going to go for this. So yeah, that stack of 17 cannot reach us. They do go for Dimensional Door. Okay, so we're absorbing a lot of damage, but we do still take the 2 losses. Okay, that's fine. It's the spell casting that really complicates things. Okay, so Onslaught for +1 attacks. Rupture kills 2 of these off. We probably want to move away from the Cutthroats, but we could go for swap. Yeah, there are some really interesting Apocalypse builds that you can do as roots, but this isn't the right time. So Chaos Step doesn't actually help us. What we need to do is we need to get rid of, so we need more swap. So we are actually going to get that next turn. So we want to swap, I guess, the... I'm going to grasp these. I'm going to swap these two. Then I'm going to Chaos Step these over to here. So we're now safe from the Cutthroats once again. These move forwards, we're going to bind these in place too. Yeah, the thing is the spellcasting. I think we want to start destroying some essence, so we don't want Dr. Marjatta getting a lot of destruction. Aurelian Scholars are still destroyed essence for now. These get Order and Arcana. These get Arcana and Destruction. So I think we, yeah, destroy their essence too. I will just go for all 3 of these stacks since I can. So we absorb some of that damage. Stack of 25 gets to move next. Do we start brawling? Does that just make sense? Because I don't want to drag this on too long against the spellcaster. We're probably the better spellcaster, but the losses will start stacking up. I'm gonna go for this. Then we get 1 to 4 kills, which is less than I hoped for, but yeah, we go for this. We take a loss in response. These come forwards. Don't have enough to go for any more Destroy Essence. We could speed ourselves up though. Don't know if that helps us much. Okay, that stack goes down. Ah, they go for Justice. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what the quick battle does in these fights that seems to work so well. Okay, let's make sure they get no more essence. Other useful things we can do, so we have Invigorate, we have Swap. I think we just go for Protection. Then we go for this. Okay, that's hopefully pretty much the last of their essence. The Wielder itself obviously still generates some. Okay, we're going to speed stack of 25 up as much as we can. Slow these down. So other useful things we can do, I guess rupture these. Then we go for this attack, they are in deadly range. These come forwards. 1 to 3 kills expected. I'm going to slow these down. Wow, okay. So I don't even know how many losses we took from that apocalypse at the end. Almost none? You know what, that's fine. Quick Battle obviously knows something I don't about getting the best out of those units. Aurelian Milestone, the large camp there could be useful. I think we have pretty much taken out their best wielder. Ah, this is an external dwelling. So one thing we can do is we can go across to this. We can get those units back if we want to. I don't think that makes sense. I think we take all 4 of these, of course. And which units really work well with these? I guess the chuckers have been working pretty well. How much space do we have? We've got 8 slots for those. So we're going to take 6. Beyond that, I don't think we changed too much. So the only other thing we could really do that I think makes a lot of sense is we could go for a big stack of pulses. Also help us do the damage we need to do from range, but I don't think it's so important. We could upgrade our lashes, we could start going for things like flayers. Those would be pretty useful actually, just for the mobility when we need it. Additional destruction essence is also very useful. Only thing is we can't upgrade the lashes we already have, so the option is we either go for basic lashes instead of going for flayers. Only got space for 10 of those. So actually it doesn't really make sense because we could just go for a full stack. Or almost a full stack. Spend 7,700, just go for those instead. I think it doesn't necessarily matter that much. The Seeds of the Mother alone should make a massive difference, and then I think what we really need is we just need to level up our magic skills. I'm going to actually be a little bit more confident about what Grunt can do, and I'm not going to take any extra units. We're going to pass all of these across. Ah, I can't quite reach. Is it worth backtracking? I do want those extra units, of course. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do something too stupid. We can also pass some of this stuff we don't really need, so you can take some boots, in fact. Take most of the boots. So, Shoes of the Wanderer, those seem to be worse than what we already have. I think movement is the key thing we care about, although view radius would be good. But maybe on someone else. Can we just swap them on at the end? For +1 movement this round. So spike boots, we're never going to use those. +10 offense from this versus +15 range defense. I don't think we worry too much about that. We get rid of the view radius from this, we don't care about that. And then, do we take a stack of 5 of these over the broken vessels? I don't think we do. Okay, so with all of that being done, we move up this way, and there is indeed a small settlement here, so it's probably not the main settlement. That, I guess, was actually the other way. But still, we'll try to take that down as quickly as we can. Then going back to grow, I don't think there's too much around here for us to do. We can move up to this. So we claim the stone deposit, we can see there's a croft to the east. A pillaged Aurelian Sanctum, so the last of red must be just up here. So we'll go to chase them down. Now honey can start coming back. Let's go to the invigorating route, and do we go for the extra Glimmerweave that I keep forgetting about? Does it really matter, or do we go aggressive instead? I will go for it. I don't mind staying a little bit more defensive around here. Key thing is, I want to keep moving towards upgrading this. We do want the reliable source of celestial ore, absolutely. It's going to help us a lot once we get access to the glade. We get to go for some useful research, like the economy research. Harvesting is worth spending a lot on. Sluicing probably also worth going for eventually. But yeah, harvesting definitely is a key one to go for. So yeah, this town is busy. This town can start constructing. Let's go for another stump. Other things we can do, so the rest of our towns are fine. This town we already know about. This town we are going to still get rid of this mulcher, get some gold back, spend it on the stump. Gold is still the key thing that we need. Then we got some free movement with this wielder. This wielder will now go south. Spread these out for safety. Glimmerweave up there too. Useful for research, so we're not currently threatened. I think this wielder just needs to be ready to respond. I'm not going to go for the final hire. We could do it, but I don't think we need to. We can pick up Flora from somewhere. So I guess if Grow is going up in this direction, maybe Flora here does make sense. But there's not that much to be claimed. If anything, this is the more interesting area. But yeah, we got honey round there anyway. I think we don't go for Flora. We deliberately don't hire Flora because we want the option to pick her up anywhere, just in case we need that flexibility. Okay, so we end the turn there. You can see more purple wielders, but that's fine. I think we can deal with those. Ah, great. So Rick Rock, is this the guy we need to worry about? He's converting our town. That's so annoying because of the construction that was going on. Is it worth trying to chase him down this way? We can reach in 2 turns. I don't know what he has. That's the issue. So I think we just continue to claim this stuff. Ah, he still has a town. Didn't think there would be one. What do they have? Insignificant strength? We can't quite reach. Okay, we'll get our revenge. Important thing is we can take this settlement. It is undefended. We're just going to raise it. There's an order spire up there. There's also Roderick, who does have some units, not too much though. Creation spire over there we can't actually reach. We go this way instead. That probably leads to their town more reliably. Although there is a town up to the north. So yeah, I'll go to the waterfall, we'll take this guy out. So even more boots. We do reach level 13, amazing. So creation magic I do kind of want, but the main thing I want is to upgrade the magic skills we already have, so I'm going to go for command. Then we move up in this direction, and let's test this. So we currently have +2 movement. If we put on the +3, does actually allow us to move slightly further. So that's a little bit of micromanagement, but could work in our favour. Okay, do we prioritize the Glimmerweave? I think I actually will, because that will allow us to go for additional research, so we can upgrade. We're not going to spend Ancient Amber. But we can go for pretty much anything else, so this is not too important. Yeah, we don't want to spend Ancient Amber. Vessel's Voyage. I would like that movement. I'm going to go for that. Let's just push on that a little bit further. Okay, I think we do want to upgrade this as soon as possible so that next episode we can go for Seeds of the Mother. We do actually have one further space. But I think Stump is still probably the best thing we can do. Because yeah, it's really gold we care about. The guard tower perhaps, because this town is absolutely critical to everything we do. Yeah, I think in this town we just want extra defense. So upgrading the womb just requires 3 more Ancient Amber. Let's buy that now. Almost sold some, that wouldn't have been good. Okay, so we upgrade the womb, and we now have access to Roots of the Mother instead. So Roots of the Mother, the key difference is they have 250 hit points each. In addition, if we upgrade them in the Briar, they will get access to plus 50 hit points, and Shielded also protects them from range damage. So what we're effectively building towards is a point where we don't really need any units other than Seeds and Roots of the Mother, but we could go for things like Chuckers, because those are useful from range. But yeah, this whole strategy is really going to get unstoppable once we upgrade Destruction, Arcana. Order's less important, but once we upgrade those magic skills, we're going to become pretty unstoppable. We're going to split these up. So we've now got 5 stacks of those to work with. So that's 5 of each type of essence coming in every single round. In other words, this guy is an insanely good spellcaster, and he's only going to keep getting better. So we probably don't need to reinforce him at all. We can probably go fully focused on the rest of our wielders and the rest of our empire. But I am losing my voice. I'm going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.